G'day, Ben from Melbourne here, or King of Shirts as I'm known by the great MGK Boston, which is what this thread is about today. That's right, MGK, the man, the myth, the legend, the runner, the guy who's got cheesecakes on tap, guy who has a big bash, big party coming up soon at his house every year, puts on a keg. One day I'll get there. Anyway, his thread is about showing 5 records that you had or that you liked or something like that from when you were a kid, like 12, 13, teenage kid kind of thing, going into teenage years. So, of course, nothing earth-shattering here, probably all obvious stuff, but let's get right into it. First off, ACDC, TNT. Well, not just a teenage record. This one's been with me throughout primary school, teenage years, and right up till now. Of course, this is a second ACDC record released in Australia, that is. Bon Scott era, and I wish those 50-year anniversary gold reissues they had have released the Australian Albert's versions, especially of all the Bon Scott records, because a lot of them have the different running order on the international versions. They've chopped up Dirty Deeds, done cheap, and songs off that are on several things. They've taken songs off records. They don't have the original awesome cover artwork. And, this isn't a Albert's Blue Boy, but it's a nice early one and sounds fantastic. It'd be nice just to see that label on there as well. Anyway, I've rhubarbed on long enough about ACDC. I'll just give you a quick squeeze inside before I move on. There you go. Beautiful stuff. The way God wanted it to be. Next, huge in my life. I had this on TDK, on one side of a TDK 90, Midnight Oil, 109876543321. Big hit off this was The Power and the Passion. Big song over here anyway. Overseas, it wasn't until I think they released the EP Species to Species after this, and then the big one, Diesel and Dust, which really took off. But this is where I got in. I probably missed it by a couple of years, but thanks to my older cousin, he got me into the oils. So there you go. This has also got Read About It on there. US Forces, Only the Strong. That's what the inner looks like there. And there's a label for all you label lovers. And because of your label lovers, you're going to have to wait for me to put it back into the sleeve. So that's 3. I think he wanted us to do 5. So on the other side of that TDK 90 was another Midnight Oil record, the one that came after 10-1, Red Sails in the Sunset. This is the one with When the Generals Talk, Sleep, Best of Both Worlds, I think it was a single off this. Just, I can't have one without the other, so these were big on me. And also in retrospect, like, these were popular records in Australia, but when you listen to them, I know Nick Lune for sure did the he did the production on both of these records. And for a record that was a top 40 really well selling record, the production is insane. Like, it's really experimental. There's a big chance the Oils took after making like pretty straight up but great rock and roll records. You know, they were recorded pretty much, you know, guitars, drums and bass, like a lot of their ilk, but then they got quite experimental on those two, and I reckon it worked fantastic. Next up, Huda Guru's Mars Need Guitars. Now I think this was probably the first Huda Guru stuff I was aware of. Backtrack later on to get Stone Age Romeos, but yeah, the single Bittersweet, Death Defying, and especially Like Wow Wipeout were quite big over here on radio. Of course, Dave Faulkner, formerly of the great punk band The Victims from Perth, and Brad Shepherd was in the Hitmen and the Fun Things before that. And Mark Kimsmell, he's played on New Christ Records, and yeah, these guys have fantastic what's the word? Family tree, musical family tree. So this is obviously the reissue. I do have an original somewhere, but this was closer to hand, and you get the drift. Last one, Hunters and Collectors, What's a Few Men. Yeah, I probably knew this one the most. Human Frailty came before this, which was kind of a breakthrough record for them after a few much more experimental records, like really good stuff though. I equally like those records as much as their more song driven ones like these. The other ones were just like more about brass and funky bass, and not funk like James Brown funk, but like industrial kind of funk, I suppose. Yeah, this one had the single Do You See What I See? Yeah, so many good songs on this. What Are You Waiting For? Still Hanging Around, What's a Few Men. Great record, and they were a great live band as well, the Hunters. There's like about 900 of them on stage when they'd play, so a bit of wordage there. And this one is, I think, is that an original? Probably close to, or early pressing anyway. Right, that's it. That's my 5 I was into as a teenager for the great MGK Boston. Hope you enjoyed that. And subscribe to the great man. He probably doesn't need it. He did a pledge for 1 million subscribers a while back, and I think he got 10 million in the end. He's an overachiever, that guy. Anyway, we'll see you in the next one.